So all this time that I've been doing this drawing, I'm putting blocks in here now. So I've got my hip roof option, I've got my hatched house, and I just wanted to finalize one to, just to present this thing completed, one with a gable roof system and different window style and everything else. And all the way along, I've never had, and I haven't for a long time, had any reason to go back and really make a new um, block for anything. But with this house, I had a block with a single 3.0 door and a left-hand side light. Now I needed a left-hand left swing door with a right-hand side light. And then when I that same door I kept, but changing the style to get one without muttons, I went ahead and removed those. So that gave me something else. And then same thing, I had only had one, which would have been a right hand or a left hand, I guess, from inside, sliding door, a 5.0 slider, but I didn't have the match for it, the opposite swing. So I made an opposite swing set right here. And I've done the same thing with modifying a 5.0 French door into a door that does not have muttons. So in this case, right off the bat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new blocks, and about to be a sixth one right from here. And the reason I need a sixth one is if I look in all of my 4-foot window inventory, I have no windows that are smaller in width than 2 feet. And that's not that typical that you would have one smaller than 2 feet, but you could have an 18-inch window. And so for that purpose, I'm going to make this an 18-inch window. So I found a 2.0 by 4.0. This is a casement window. And this one's real easy to do. So the whole point of this is, what do you do when something is the wrong size? All right. Now this, I have already exploded this block, so it's no longer a block. Everything is just its own entity. Every line in here is its own. All right. So all I need to do is erase the bottom ones. Okay, and then just erase. You can really erase everything on the bottom and everything on the top. Then I think the easiest trick is, that window from the inside of the trim over needs to be a distance of what? We said 18 inches. All right, so that's a piece of cake. So now I take that, and now I'm going to move this entire right side from the inside corner of the trim over 18. I knew that was going to happen, that I was going to botch up these shadow marks. So I'll just move them, just put them back over here somewhere in the window. And I don't know why, that's a funny shadow mark. It's got a second line on it. Go ahead and move this one somewhere over here in the window. And then really oh shoot, and I got another one. All right, so if I had to do this over again, I would say go ahead and move those shadow marks first. And then really it's just a matter of connecting the dots. So you can just go line, and I think the easiest way to do this is I just usually take shortest line, draw it in place. And the reason I'm going to do the shortest one is so I can minimize trimming. So I can extend, in this case, a little quicker than I can trim, or at least not have to be quite as careful. So I'm just going to drop my lines, which I know to be too short, all the way down. I'm going to delete that one that was my trim line, and I'm just going to go EX space for extend, select these three things. Somehow this is really weird. It extended beyond where it should have. I guess I know why it was, because I trimmed out the miter, or I left out the miter. So there, that should have come along for the ride. And just extend these. Voila. Go ahead and change move your shadow marks around again a little bit. And in all honesty, the best way to do this, I think, to make these things have a little bit more realism, is to completely do it at random. Okay, just make it up as you go along, and there you go. There is a rule of thumb that typically the kind of architectural format is to shadow from bottom left, getting more mass up to top right. Okay, and so now I've got my window that I need. I can go ahead and give it a test drive. Let's see if it works. If this fits right across the bottom, corner to corner, it worked. Sound is a pound, that's great. And now I can just go ahead and turn my block layer off, get rid of my old window um, opening right there, turn it back on, boom. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a clipboard copy with BasePoint, come back to blocks, and now I'm about to gift my TAs here with a new task, which will be, hey, now you got to come in here and name this window, save it as a block, and everything else. But now that I've done this, I can use this frame and then just pop these buttons into it, and then you get into some obsessive compulsive behavior because you find out that it was so easy to do one and modify that one, then you just kind of start plugging away, even if you never use it again. So this is a big enough inventory that I think for architecture 1 or 2 class in high school, I think this at least, or even for a general contractor, probably for a representation, I think this does just fine. So.